Hello. Hello. How you guys doing? All good? Thank you for having me here, KIKK. Thank you for the invitation. How you guys doing? Good. Yeah, I can see. Fancy place. Fancy place. I love it. So I'm Fran Marquez, Animation Director from MediaMonks, this company, who's based on Amsterdam. MediaMonks has become the largest creative digital production company in the world. Crazy. With a story of 18 years, we've been growing fast. But I'm not here to talk about MediaMonks. I'm going to talk about passion projects. Quick introduction about myself. Yes, there you go. I'm originally from Madrid, from Spain, working and living in the Netherlands for the last 7.5 years. I come from different backgrounds, actually. I started doing production, audiovisual production, very wide. It wasn't so what I liked at that moment. It wasn't so creative for me, so then I moved to Barcelona, and then I started 3D animation. That was the beginning for me. That was like a door to the animation world, and I got really interested about, animation. Yeah. So that's me. By the way, I've been working at MediaMonks for the last year, exactly 1 year. So, hello. Hello? Yes. So what I'm going to talk today? I'm going to make a quick introduction about MediaMonks. Then I'm going to jump into the animation department from MediaMonks. And then the real core of the talk from today, which is the importance of passion projects. Then how did it apply to us into a commercial way? So how did we transform a passion project into a paid project? And that's the Google Doodle 20th anniversary. And then I have a little surprise for you guys. So, who's MediaMonks? As I said, largest production company in the world, with offices in many countries. I'm going to show you guys now. That's MediaMonks right now is in the center of all this, right? Tech companies, other kind of companies, and agencies. I have to say that 6 years ago, around 5-6 years ago, we were working 90% for agencies and 10% for direct clients. Since 5 years ago, this situation has changed, and now we work 10% for agencies, 90% for direct clients, either related to tech or just general companies doing whatever. MediaMonks has today 850 monks/workers and counting. It's spread all over the world in 11 offices, boom. All of us, this might sound, I don't know how it sounds, but yeah, all of us working as a team with the same end goal. Our headquarters office is in Amsterdam, which is not fully true. Actually, it's not true, because we're at Hilversum. Hilversum is a city which is 20 minutes away from Amsterdam. But if you tell someone from, I don't know, we're based in Hilversum, it's going to be like, what? Where is that? Where is that? I don't know. But if you say Amsterdam, everyone knows. That's why. And then we grew up into London, Stockholm, New York, boom, Los Angeles, Mexico, all these offices. Some of them working very actively with big teams, and then another one, more of a satellite office. And soon, we're going to open 4 new offices. Boom. San Francisco, Germany, Japan, and India. As you can see, thing is growing. And now focusing on the animation department, the animation folks from MediaMonks. We have 51 and counting animators, spread in 4 offices, and again, working towards the same goal. Right now, we have 26 guys in Amsterdam or Hilversum, 14 in LA, 10 in Buenos Aires, and a little fella holding the flag in Sao Paulo. There. Soon, we're gonna have more animators in other offices. So yeah, MediaMonks Animation, the part that I represent. What do we do? Well, generally, MediaMonks does all of this. Boom. Films, experimental platforms, VR. Originally, MediaMonks started creating websites, as simple as that. And then they thought, hey, we need animators for our websites. So then they started hiring people. And then the animation itself became into a team itself, right? So then they made an animation department. And there we are. Among all this that happens every day in our office, we're dedicated to that part. Animation / motion graphics. This is really important for us. These are our 4 applications for all the animations we do. As I said, well, since 15 years ago, we were doing interactive animation for, again, websites. But then 6 years ago, we jumped into the motion graphics, traditional animation, 3D animation, which is like motion graphics at the end. And that's important because these 3 guys here are an industry by itself. They don't depend from the website part, it's just a business itself. So, I'm gonna jump into the core of this talk, all right? Which is the importance of passion projects. As you can see, we do commercial work for all kind of brands, for all kind of clients from all over the world, right? But among all this commercial work and all this stuff we do, how do we feed our creativity? How do we put a fire in us? Because, you know, commercial work might, you know, drive you to be in maybe an automatic mode, and then you need something else. You need to expand yourself, skills and everything. So that's why we do passion projects, which are personal projects. But first things first, what's a passion project? Just to clarify, a passion project is that thing that grows out of nowhere, where there is no client involved, and normally not so many creative boundaries. It can be a piece of shit. It can be sweet. Some other times it's a sweet bit of shit. Nevertheless, it's totally worth it. It's very visceral, this thing. So one day you wake up in the morning, and then an idea comes, like, whoa, I got this idea. And then you start drawing, or then you start animating. Those kind of things, besides all the commercial thing you do, besides all the information you get from the world, those things that you initiate because you love what you do. And what kind of things do we do as passion projects? Because this is super wide, and it has so many applications. First thing we do, just to name something, we do style frames, like this one, for example. Just out of nowhere. This thing actually, it's an animation, it's a style frame from an animation that one of our guys called Nico did by himself. These guys he was testing colors here, he was testing perspectives, dark shaders, character design, and some typography going on. Super motion graphic-y, super nice, playing with textures, whatever he wants. This is something that we're gonna see later. Well, not this animation exactly, but this is a style frame from one of our biggest passion projects we do, which is called Deep Thoughts. This is just one of the frames from one of the episodes that I'm going to jump later, and I'm going to show you guys. What else we do? More style frames, boom. All kind of techniques, all kind of whatever. People trying some other guys' techniques, something that they saw on the internet, they try, and then they realize that it's looking good. This one, we did recently the title sequence for Playgrounds. Super challenging project. It was done in no time, literally, because it was so crazy because of something that I'm going to show you guys later, of course. And this is just, this is done by Sergio, one of our animators. I told them, dude, make a 10-second sequence where the guy, it's on a VR experience, doing some trippy in the middle of the space. Just do whatever you want. He came up with this. Super trippy. This is done by Juan, our creative director. Super attracted by abstract shapes, colors blending together. This is just a loose style frame. There's no animation here. I think he posted it online. Super cool. Another style frame from Deep Thoughts, our animated series that we do as passion projects. In this case, the challenge was to play with just 3 colors, black, white, and yellow. And this is what, I don't remember who did that. I don't know. Anyway. And another one from Deep Thoughts. Just look at that. Just give it a try. See what happens. What else do? We do characters, character designs. All kinds of characters. Look at that. All done by different people. Just testing whatever. Sometimes, I know for sure the guy who did that was, he's called Pablo. He works in our BA, Buenos Aires office. He started just drawing those characters. And then he thought, they look a little bit empty. I'm just going to try to figure it out. What's their world? Where do they belong? What's the context of this? And then he started creating all of that, and then he ended up making a tiny, tiny animation. So you can see something that, one day this guy was testing some characters, and then he created an entire animation, just for the fun of it, remember. That one is also made by Pablo, Nico, by me. Lots of styles, shaders, colors, whatever you want to put in there. Remember, there are not so many creative boundaries. You put your own boundaries in this case. Sorry. More characters. Yeah, there you go. Part of Deep Thoughts again. Just loose illustrations from Jan, our Brazilian animator. That one too. Testing geometry, testing colors, and simplifying colors over there. Whatever you want. You want more characters? More characters. There you go. Sometimes more figurative, sometimes more abstract, sometimes what the fuck. That's part of a tiny, tiny short film, those 2 guys. Really nice. This is also made by Nico, Michiel, over there. That's for a book he created. He received an invitation to participate on a book. This is an illustration made for a book, a tiny story. Super beautiful. So after all these characters, I wanted to highlight also something else. I want to highlight one of our guys called Germán, an Argentinian guy working with us. He's creating a short film by himself entirely on his free time, which is a massive project if you think that, you have a full-time job, and then you have family, and then you have everything, responsibilities, right? But then he's creating an entire short film by himself, based on what? Ritual. It's called Ritual, a short film about mystical things, tribes, wonders, and rituals. He's playing super minimalistic, and it's just amazing. These are some side frames from the movie. Again, just trying compositions. you know, what's the world? What's the meaning of all this? So then he's, working on it little by little. And I wanted to show you also something that is behind the scenes. Because this whole thing, this whole creation thing, it starts somewhere. As I said, it could start, you're on the train going to your job, and then you're looking through the window, and I don't know, something inspires you, which happens if you're aware of it. But then you need to give a shape to all this, right? Kind of some guidance. If there is no boundaries, if there is no guidance from the outside world, you need to put it to make it yourself. This is part of the behind the scenes, a mood board. This is what your movie is telling you. These are how the lights are projecting. This is how the planets look like. Those are kind of symbolism that he's going to use on the movie. That's kind of a general feeling. Everything that gives you information about what your movie is going to be, what you're going to tell, what it's going to look like. And this is a key part of any project, of course, I guess. But especially on a passion project, because again, you don't have any guidance. You need to give your own guidance. And so, what's the trigger for Germán here? The trigger for Germán is to create by himself an entire production, which is, again, crazy, of a short film, except for the music, of course, because for that he's also collaborating with one of our musicians. He's highly, highly attracted by mysticism, mystical things, and the rituals about that, about tribes from the world and all that mysticism, which is like super magical, and it makes you wonder. So he was attracted by that. And then he wanted to also put in practice something that I loved it, and that's why I put it here, because he wanted to explore new ways of telling things. How? By setting a mood. Just, you're looking at the screen, and then you don't have so many information that gives you, a character telling you it's time for it. It's just moods. And then he wants to drive people and, put them out there and see what they feel, and say how they feel that, right? So he was really, he wanted to do that. In terms of narrative, he wants to set moods. That's why this movie. And also another part, which is complementary to the previous slide, which are the references. This is a bit more figurative. This is telling you how the shapes are going to be, what kind of elements, what kind of masks are going to wear your characters, everything, what kind of colors. It's maybe more in depth from the previous slide. So, this is also quite important when you do a passion project. And then, so all these loose things, like characters, style frames that, well, they're looking good, but, they don't, it's just individual work. Because we work at a company and we are surrounded by talent, we thought, let's work towards the same goal. Let's do something together, right? So this was the first personal project that we created at MediaMonks, the animation department. It's called, thank God it's Pi Day. I heard you guys know about Pi, right? Pi Day. I'm going to read it. Pi Day is celebrated the March 14th around the world. Pi, is a symbol used in mathematics to represent a constant which is approximately 3.14159. So Juan, our creative director, as a math and science nerd that he is, he got really attracted by this, and he wanted to celebrate Pi Day. How? Well, first, again, creating a mood board. What it's all about, because the subject is so scientific driven, and like, based on geometrical shapes and blah, 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 he set the mood. He said, okay, this is, how it's gonna look like. Again, mood board, really important. Your guide, your body. So, taking into consideration this information and then these references, he designed the first number. From 0 to 9, he created an individual design per number. This was the first one, and then he created all these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's one. These guys are, stills, but you're going to see the animation now. But it's one with a unique design, obviously. So I'm guessing that you guys want to see the animation, and if not, you're going to see it anyway. So, this project, as I said, it was the first time that we put ourselves together working as a four-person project towards the same goal. And because we took it so seriously, and the production folks who were with us, they also took it pretty seriously too. Normally in a company, you don't put passion projects on the pipeline unless you don't have any work. That's how it is. But they saw us taking it pretty seriously, and then we introduced the project, and then they said, like, dude, this is pretty cool, so let's go and do it. And then they put it on the pipeline, and then we kept working. And then after this, we wondered, hey, how can we keep this up? Because this experience was real good. It was shared all over the place. It was real nice. So we came up with Deep Thoughts. I mentioned it before. I'm going to read it. Yeah, it's a bi-monthly animated series by the animation department at MediaMonks. Every 2 months, we take a subject out of a pot. We did a brainstorming, and then with the whole team, we put relevant subjects on a jar. And then every 2 months, we take one of those, and there's like a surprise. And that's the first boundary. The second boundary, just that, 2 boundaries, is a color palette. Each episode, as you can see, there is the theme, subject, life, burger, distance, books, space, pets, relevant themes. So then we give a color palette, and then all the animators adjust to that. Each one with obviously a different color palette, and sometimes we just work with 3 colors, some others with this super nice color palette, whatever, and also with the deadline, of course. And so the beauty about Deep Thoughts for us is that, as I said, it's like a train that passes through the office once every 2 months. It's up to you if you take the train or not. Normally, most of the people get involved. And that's pretty cool because for many reasons. But to me, the coolest thing is that it puts you a pressure of creation. And that's awesome, because that's the very thing that people need, just a little push to express a little bit. And that's what I like about Deep Thoughts. I'm going to show you guys 2 episodes. which are pretty short, like 1 minute and a half or so. The first one that I want to show is the one that we did for the subject, the theme space. Check it out.
Deep thoughts. Deep thoughts.
Boom. And let's watch another.
Deep thoughts.
Put it on, extra fries.
Deep thoughts.
Right? So the beauty of this project, I wanted to say one more thing, is that this very project transformed us into not just not just doing execution stuff, but to think, to conceptualizing, which is a very, very important thing. And that might seem silly, but after some episodes, I've seen transformations in people. Like, I'm a new person, but creatively, people starting like developing crazy stuff, man. And that's thanks to this project. So we're super happy to be doing that. Alrighty, it's time for learning. Learning time. So after all this, what kind of things, in what kind of things we have improved, what kind of things made us to be better. First thing is that exploration is a good thing. It's a very, very good thing. It's a perfect episode for you to be yourself, to create whatever you want. You don't have anything, and then you share that with others, and then they give you feedback, and then it's all fine, But first of all, you're exploring, and exploring means wandering, and wandering means good. So this is a very, very positive point, and it's the first one. With all that exploration, what do? Then you create an entire style catalog. So you can tell your grandkids later, right? Like, look at that, look at what I created. And then they love it. Next one, it's that from a personal perspective and company perspective, it opens new markets and collaborations. And that's a win-win. Everyone wins with this. So, and the most important one, it keeps the fire on, and guess what? We have gallons of fun. Like this kid, fun, 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 fun. Yes. So those are the things we've learned thanks to all this. And now, you know, Deep Thoughts has so many, you know, good things like fun and stuff, makes you grow. So from a business perspective, where did Deep Thoughts took us as a company? Well, to create the most amazing job we've done so far, which is the 20th anniversary Google Doodle. And why it's connected? Well, for one good reason. The client, I don't talk to clients, but production people do, and I talk to them, so they tell me. The client was like, guys, we have this. We want to do this. Can you show me some examples? Deep Thoughts. This is what we do. Kind of small clips, different styles, and with a storytelling on the background. So that was convincing enough for them to give us the opportunity to create this great work. So this was super exciting in so many levels, and you'll see why. You know, all this hard work, all this passion came back to us in the most amazing project, as I said, working on the front page on the internet, basically. It was doing the animation of the front page of the internet. Crazy. And so, you know, let's watch the movie and talk later.
What is Google? What will happen on Y2K?
什么打领带？qual o esporte mais popular do mundo?
Was ist das Humangenom-Projekt?
هل هذه السنة كبيسة؟ Not guessing. Is Pluto still a planet? Neko nabe to wa?
Qu'est-ce que vous racontez dans Dragon?
The Royal Wedding. Profecía Maya 2012. Gift for Jeff. Apa tu selfie?
How do you make avocado toast?
When do the summer games begin?
Show me pictures of cute animals.
Alrighty. We approached this project from a very exciting scenario, as you can imagine. We had 3 weeks and a half to produce this baby, and it was crazy because it's 1 minute 40, I think, 45 or so. It's mixing complete different techniques. We're making 2D animation, 3D animation, stop motion animation, papercraft, with transitions in between. And that was a big, creative challenge, I have to say, because it all needs to feel good, blending all together, seamlessly, and you don't notice so much the stages. You just want to, let people dive into this. So as I said, we have 3.5 weeks of production for this, which drove us a little bit crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Eternal working days and stuff. But at the end, it's all super worthy. Okay. In terms of creativity, this project was our super comfort zone. In a positive way. I don't want, not like lazy, but like creative comfort zone. We knew the language. We knew the language that the client wanted to show, to provide the viewers, and then we just materialize it. And that was pretty cool. So I wanted to briefly show you guys just a little overview of the artwork, all of the sequences that you see, stop motion, another stop motion 3D, with the transitions in between. We had to create all this animated within 3.5 weeks here. Spread in our 3 offices from the Netherlands, in Los Angeles, and Buenos Aires. 16 animators working on this for 3.5 weeks. Big numbers and big challenges. I wanted to also show you guys a little bit of behind the scenes, what happened. We got the collaboration of our super stop motion animator, Daniel Uribe from Blend. A little bit of the process, we used some, for the stop motion scenes, we used some foam that you can just cut with a cutter, with a sharp cut, and then you give the shape you want with like 2 or 3 layers of paint, I think, because the first one, it was like getting absorbed by the material. The Pluto, this is not the final Pluto, but this is just one of the, no, this is the final Pluto, sorry. Because I think here, yeah, that's not the final Pluto. That's just one experimentation. A little bit of the color palette, and behind the scene pictures. This is a little present we did for the client. As a thank you, we sent this box with the 2 little fellas over there on a beautiful box. Sorry for the pixels. I don't understand. That was the sketch, and that was the final result. In terms of numbers, this is what we got. 40,000 search queries every second on average on Google. So, which translates into over 3.5 billion searches per day. That 3.5 billion, those are the people who saw our animation. You can see the canvas. It's massive. So that's why we got really excited and a little bit scary. Scared. Hot damn, that's a lot of people. What's the conclusion of all this? Because I think we are closing up. Oh boy, we can't imagine how our life would be without all this stuff we've learned thanks to passion projects. Life is different for us. And because we are closing, I'm going to jump into this surprise, which is our short reel. This is not just the result of passion projects, but commercial projects, all of the stuff we do in the animation department, which is kind of the result of who we are these days. And you're going to see how, well, maybe, you need to get deep into it, but, all those passion projects, all those things that we've done on our free time applies into here. So let's watch it. Thank you. By the way, go to careers if you want a job. We're looking for people. Thank you.